All right. Online training on Google Tools for Education, Day 2. Let's start with the Google Forms. Google Forms is a free online tool from Google which allows users to create forms, surveys, and quizzes. So, whenever you want to collect any data from the students or from the teachers, then you can create the Google form. And if you want to assess your students, then you can make the quiz. So Google Forms are basically used for creating surveys and quizzes. So let's watch a video.
In today's lesson, you'll learn about Google Forms. Forms let you create surveys to gather classroom data and monitor student progress. You can get instant results as students submit responses and view data in simple charts and graphs, or as a spreadsheet. Forms is integrated directly with Google Sheets, so you can easily evaluate patterns, areas for improvement, and other trends in the classroom.
So this is about the forms. Basically, forms are among the internet's most versatile tools. They are used to create quiz, surveys, and feedback. If you want to take feedback from the teachers or from the students or from the parents, then you can create a Google form and then you can share with them and you can have their feedbacks. Google Forms helps teachers and students collect and analyze data. One great way to use Google Form is to create a quiz as a quick assessment of your students' knowledge. So, like suppose you have taught one chapter in the class and you want to assess their knowledge. So quickly you can create a Google Form and then you can add the questions, you can give the marks, and this is how you can assess their knowledge. Forms can also act as surveys used to collect family emails and other information on back-to-back school night or student information for clubs and extracurricular activities. Now, these are the checklist that we are going to do with Google Forms. How to create a Google form, how can we add different type of questions in the Google form, choose a response destination, edit form settings, send a Google form to users, view responses, using Google Forms for feedback, Google Forms quizzes, using Google Forms to collect data, and how to embed video in a Google form. So let's start with the Google form. Now, how can you assess Google form? How can you open a Google form? Please understand this through a video.
To get started, make sure you're signed into your Google account. Then go to forms.google.com.
So one way is just to open your Gmail account and at the search engine type forms.google.com. The another way is, I'll just let you know. Just open the Chrome. You can see the 9 dots or the waffle. Simply click here. Then there are all Google tools. Choose forms. This is the one way. Another way is open Chrome. Simply type forms.google.com. So there are either of the way you can open your form. Now, first I'm just making a form in order to collect data from the students or from the participants. So these are the templates which are already given. The feedback form that I have made for the training session, I have taken from this only. I use this exit ticket and then I just made the Google form from there. So all these, this is a template already made form. You can choose from this Here you need to name, email, what's an important thing. So this is already ready-made forms which are available. If you want to use them, you simply use them. Accordingly, you can add your questions here, or let us start a blank. Plus, then simply click on the blank. So once you enter the blank form, you are able to make the blank form. Now let's make a feedback form only, the one that I have made for the training session. Feedback form. And if you want to give any description, you can write it here online. Training on Google Tools. Now here you can type your question. Now there are various type of questions. First one is the short answer. If you want to have a 1 to 2 line answers, then use this short answer. For long questions, use the paragraph form. Multiple choice, if you want to have the options. Check boxes when you want to have the multiple options. Drop down when you want that you want to give the option and the person has to choose from the option. Then you can use drop down. File load, you want the person should upload a file. There is one additional uh, op- question type in Google form, that's the linear scale, that I let you know how to create a linear scale where you want to have the points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same way we can create multiple choice grid, we can create checkbox grid. So let us make a feedback form by having all these type of questions. So let us start with the short answer. So enter your name. Enter your name or participant's name. Let it be the short answer. Participant name. All right. Now, if you want it to be necessary that the participant should enter his or her name, just click on the required and then it is there. Now, if you want to have another question, just duplicate it. And next, I want to have, suppose, a long answer. Write your knowledge about Google tool. So this I want in a paragraph form, then that also required. Next, I want the next type. You want check boxes, multiple choice. Enter your experience. Option 1, good, very good. All right. Then same way we can have the check boxes drop down. When you want to have the multiple answers, then you can speak. All right. Let it duplicate. Now, when you want to have to select all multiple answers are there, then you can use the checkbox. In the drop down, if you want to give the options. Now, I'll just tell you about the linear scale. This is a new option. Now enter your experience on a scale of 1 to 5. So when you will give 1 to 5, so this is a experience. So you can write it here, good. Now 1 is the least. So it is bad, poor, good. No, then it has to be excellent. This is a range you have given. So the, the participant has to just select the option on a scale of 1 to 5. If you want to increase the scale, you can give like I want only 1 to 4. So this is how you can add the questions to your form. Now, if you want to preview your form, this is the preview. So participant's name, write your knowledge about Google tool, enter your experience. Now this is the linear scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want the user should just enter his experience, then you can make use of the linear scale. All right. Now let's take up another tool. That's the feedback form done. Now
Neetu ma'am, Neetu ma'am, can you explain this again, Neetu?
the linear scale.
Yes, ma'am. Before submit, before submit.
Okay, fine. Just let me close this. Now suppose I want to add one more linear scale. So simply duplicate it. Now here you want write, are you confident in Google Forms after the session? Rate yourself. Whenever you want to give rating, then we are using this linear scale. So you can just simply, this is here, all the question types are there. Click on the linear scale and then you can have 1 to the maximum. Like suppose I want to have 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can have from 1 to 10 also. And then you just need to type the first one and the last one. Like from 1 is for poor and 6 is the excellent. So that's the range you can take. Simply 1 and 6, just mentioned it here and then it is done. If you will just preview it, that linear scale will be made of its own. So the user can choose, that's the linear scale. Whenever you want to get rating, then we are using this linear scale option. Then we have one more option, that's the multiple grid. I just explain you that. Now multiple choice grid. Now here you want rows and columns. Like suppose you want to write option here and then accordingly column in column you want to have the answer. Like parameters you can give. Like suppose behavior. First parameter is a behavior. And you can give the second parameter knowledge. Right? Now let's see what is it coming. Can you see behavior knowledge? So when you want to rate yourself on particular parameters, you can choose that parameters and then accordingly give the scale also. Now I need to increase the number of columns also. Just bring it here. Column 1, column 2, column 3. So let it be like A grade you want to give, B you want to give, C you want to give. So if we want to give a grading, so we can have that. B I want to give. All right. So this is the multiple grid where you can have the on various parameters, and you have given the grades. So on behavior, I want to give B grade to the student. On the basis of knowledge, I want to give A. Right? So this is how you can use this multiple grid. Generally, whenever we want to take a feedback and we want to give rating on this basis, we can do it. So that's the now all done. I think one is left. That's multiple choice grid. And next is the checkbox grid. Checkbox grid means when you want to have more tech and more parameters. Like let's have checkbox grid. Okay. Here only I'm making it. Okay, let it be. Now, can you see it here? A, B, C, D. Now, here rather than when I want to choose multiple answers like behave. Now, I do not want to grade them. I just want to tick, tick, tick. Like suppose books. I have read fiction books. I have read the horror books. So, if I want to give such type of information and I want to get the data from the user on this, then I would be using the checkbox field. Like suppose let it be the multiple only, and let me create the another one. Now let it be the books that you read or your hobbies. Like the one parameter is hobbies. So it can be, let me change to checkbox. So it can be reading, it can be listening music, or it can be um, surfing net, right? Suppose I have taken only three. Let it cross. Now, hobbies, and then right? So I can have some other parameters, not the knowledge. So hobbies, reading, listening music, surfing net. So when I want to choose the multiple option, then I would be using the multiple checkbox. And when you want to have only one option, like you want to grade, then I can use multiple. What is that option? Multiple choice grid, right? Any doubt? Any doubt in how to make the form with different type of question? So it's from short answers to long answer type, multiple choice, linear scale, multiple choice grid, and multiple checkbox. So this is how I can make a form. Now my form is lost. If I want to get it again, how can I get it again? Can anybody tell me? How can I get my form? I have closed it. How can I get it back? Anyone?
On Drive, ma'am.
Yeah, please.
Google Drive, you'll be able to find it.
Yeah, it is either in the Google Drive or simply click on the plus sign. The Chrome window is there, and then plus that these 9 dots. And sorry, I just opened docs. It is forms plus then 9 dots. Here forms, and all my forms are there. Okay, so no need for saving. I have not saved it, but it is there. Can you see recent form? So I have not given any name to it. So this is the untitled form. So I just give it a name as demo form. Let it be demo. This is how you can make a form. Now I want you to give the feedback. So I need to share this form with you. So I simply click on the send. Now here I can send via email. I can send via this and using social media also. So let me generate a link, shorten the URL. It is there. Copy the URL. Now I'm copying this in the chat box. Please open and fill the form. Everyone, open the form and fill the form. Let me have your responses. Just open and fill the form. Everyone, just open and
It
fill the form.
says that we need permission.
It needs permission.
Yes.
Give me permission, maybe.
Just let me again copy.
Yeah, it's not giving me permission.
All right, all right. Just let me change the shading option. Now please open it. I have again generated the link. Are you able to open the form now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Please enter the form. After filling the form, I'll tell you why you were not able to open the previous form. Because we can restrict the form also. Initially, the form was restricted. Anybody cannot enter the form. So now I have just in the settings changed that setting, and now you are able to open the. So let me see whether I have get any responses. Yes, one response I have got from Aneet Forseti. Two responses. Monica Singh has also entered. Miss Kavita Ahuja also entered a response. All right. Enter, then I'll explain the next one. So let's check the checklist. How to assess form, told. Now Google Forms include different question type. I have already told you. So there are short answers, paragraphs, multiple choice, check boxes, drop down, linear scale, multiple choice. You can include date, time, file, and you can add YouTube video also. That option is also there. You can add YouTube video. Now this is the add video option. Let me explain you that also. You can add image also. Click on the image, and whatever image you want to add from the camera, from the Google image search, you can add that image also. So let me just click on the camera, allow. Let me take my pic and then insert. Yes. Add video. So whatever video you want to add, let me just have the duplicate of this and let me add a video. Let it be anything related to food. It's 12-minute video. Select. So when you want to a video based question you want to ask, you can insert the video. So let's preview. So this is my image, just got inserted in the form. Participant name, and this is a video. You can play the video. So various options are there. You can just explore them yourself. All right. So that's about the various types of questions. This is done. Now next, creating quiz. That now form is just to collect the information, the feedback. But when you want to assess your students, for that you need to give them the marks. So that's how to create a quiz. That's the next thing. Sending the form I have told you. Now let's watch a video how to share.
To share a Google form, click on the Send button located in the top right corner of the form editor. Then choose the link icon located next to the email icon. Click Copy. This link can be pasted into an email or document or added to a Google Classroom. To collaborate with others on a Google form, click the three vertical dots to the right of the Send button and click Add Collaborators.
You can add collaborator also. Collaborator also, suppose you want your co-teacher should make changes to that form. So you can add that teacher as a collaborator also. So both of you can have the access to the form and you can use the form at the same time. For example, in 10 science, physics, chemistry, and biology is there, and you want to make the science paper. So the physics teacher can create the Google form and then she can make chemistry and the biology teacher as the collaborator. So once she entered her question, she can allow the biology teacher to enter her question and then the physics teacher to enter. And the same way, all three can use that form. So that's the collaboration. You can work in collaboration. Okay. Now, let's view student response summary. So I had created the form, I have shared the form with you, and you had submitted your responses. Now let's watch how to view the student response summary.
After students submit the form, their responses can be found under the Responses tab. You can view responses in two ways. Summary data shows the overall results from your survey, quiz, or another form type. Bar charts show responses for multiple choice questions as an array. Questions with typed responses, like paragraph and short answer questions, display results as a list that includes all answers submitted.
All right, so this is how you can view the response summary. The responses are there. Now, if you want to assess the individual student form, how can you assess that or how can you view that? Just click on
To see
here.
individual
Just
responses
watch
to a
this
quiz,
video.
you can change your response data from summary to individual. This will show how each person answered a question. Click the left and right toggle at the top of the individual's data to move between individual results. You can also print individual data for documentation. To view all responses in an easy-to-sort spreadsheet, click the green Sheets icon in the upper right corner of the Responses tab. And those are the basics of Google Forms. Let's review what you've learned on the next page.
So let's see the responses that we have received. So I have received 10 responses. So these are the all 10 responses I have received. Now, if you want to view the individual response, click on the individual and then the individual responses are there. 1 to 10. Second response, Monica Singh. Third response, Kavita Ahuja. So you can see your responses. Now, if you want to store your responses in an Excel sheet, this is the one. Create spreadsheet. Click on the create spreadsheet. Create a new spreadsheet. Create. So once you do this, all your responses they get collected in a Google sheet. So the sheet I have already told you yesterday, you can filter your data. Like suppose you want to know that who has entered the experience 4. So you can just apply the filter here. Enter your experience. So who scored 4? So I got to know the name of all the, just wait. Okay, let me put it down. I just selecting the row. Now, just if I want to have only 4, filter by value, filter by condition. Oh, I just forgot to put the OK. That is why I was not getting the responses. Even you can give at the top also. Let me see. Just select, just give the filter, enter your experience, click here, let it be 4 and then OK. Yeah, it is working. Right? So once your all data is in the Excel sheet, you can filter your data depending upon your requirement. That who, which students have given A, which students have given B. So it is very easy for you to analyze your data in the Excel sheet. So you have collected all the responses. Just have a data in your Excel sheet and then you can filter your data and for your feedback. So that's about the form. And you can share the form either on the email also. If you want to share with only one person, 2, 3, 4, then enter their Gmail ID and that responses would be there. If you want to see, just type your email ID. It is the same that we have done for the Google Sheets also. So in the Gmail ID, you will get the notification. You are able to open that form and then you can just, for example, from some students, parents only, you want to have that data and you want to send that form into their email ID. So just take their Gmail IDs entered here, and when they will open their Gmail ID, that form is there. So they are able to view the form, they are able to enter the data. That's about the form. Any doubt? Anyone has got any doubt? All right. So let's move further. That's the quiz. How to make a quiz. Form is basically for conducting surveys or for collecting the feedback. But when you want to assess your student, you need to give marks to each and every question. So that's the quiz. So that's the also in the same way. Let me close this and open it again. It is there also, Google Forms. It is there also. So there are many ways to assess the Google form. And it is associated with your Gmail ID. So that's the blank quiz for form plus, and this is a blank quiz. So here, same way, you can enter the blank quiz, and here is the answer key. That's the difference. Suppose I want to conduct my midterm test. Let it be assessment 1, right? And the question I just want to give, which of the following is an example of herbivores, right? So simply I have given cow, fox, eat. Then you need to answer key. How many points? I just want to get 1 point. Done. So this is how, that's the required field. If you want to add an image, you can add image also. So this is how you can give 1. So this is the assessment 1. If you want to, now you can see it here, the point will come total point 1. So the more question you add, the more points will be added. So this is how you can make a quiz. Now here are the responses, here are the settings. Make this quiz immediately after each submission. Correct answer. So these are the settings. Manage how responses are collected. Now, if you want that the students can edit the response, then you can just, generally we turn it off only. The students are not allowed to change their responses. So it has to be off only. You want to limit to 1 response. So you will, this is how you can do. So these are the just settings related to this. And if you want to, this is the customized theme. When I click here, I can just give any color to that, any background color, theme color, font style. If you want to have another decorative font style, so my question font style got changed. This is playful. So you can customize, you can choose image if you want to choose any image. So let it be this one. Insert. So that image got added. Right? So this is how you can customize your response. And for sharing, send Either copy the link and then share the link with the students, or send or share through their Gmail ID. So that's about the Google Forms. Let me see the checklist. We have done everything. Yes. How to create a Google form, added different question type. I have told you. Choose a response destination. Means if you want to store everything in an Excel sheet, you can choose that. Create an Excel sheet. Added form settings. I have told you. Send a Google form to the users. Either you can copy the link or you can share through the mails. You can view responses, you can view the response summary, or you can view the individual responses. We generally use Google Forms for feedback. We use Google Forms for quizzes. We use Google Forms to collect data. Video, I have already told you how to collect. So that's about the Google Forms. So this I have told you. You can add Collaborator also. It's there. Include form in email. This is the add Collaborator. This option is there. Whatever teacher or a co-teacher you want to make as a collaborator, you can simply open the form, this Google form, then the settings. When you share it, it's not showing your collaboration. Here the setting is not there. Otherwise, from here you can only add the collaborators. It is there only, add collaborator option. Then you will click here, and then that a dialog box will get open, and you can add the co-teacher as the collaborator. Then sharing form, I have told you how to share the form, how to view student summary, I have already explained you. How to view student response individually, I have told you. Now let's have one question only for the practice assignment. What are good uses of Google Forms in the classroom? So for what purpose we use? Now this is a check boxes. So that means multiple answers. So please enter your answers in the chat box that we use Google Forms for quizzes, assessments, gather research data, draft an essay, and surveys. So for what purpose do we use the Google Forms? Please write in the chat box. What is the right option? Quizzes. All right. This is Sunita said quizzes. Miss Monica said quizzes. This is a multiple choice question. There are multiple answers to it. So please see to the question again. Not a multiple choice, not a one option. You can have more options. Select all that apply. Okay, let me see. Quizzes. And Ms. Anupam Ganesh said surveys, quizzes, assessment. Yes. We cannot draft an essay. We can create quizzes, we can gather research data, we can make the feedback form, and we can do the surveys also. Yes. Now for drafting an essay, which Google tool shall I use? Anyone? For drafting an essay, I want to write something. So for that, which Google tool shall I use? Anyone? That's any answer, or I
Google Sheet.
Google Sheet for drafting an essay? No. No. We use Google Docs. Sheets are basically for marks. If I want to keep record of the marks of the students where I want to perform the calculation. Google Docs is basically online word processor. It's same as the Word. So whenever I want to draft an essay, I want to write an application, or I want to write a script or a story, I would be using Google Docs. Google Docs is an online word processor. All right. Let's move on to the PPT. Yeah. So this is a feedback form link. Please fill this feedback form. So all these feedback forms I have created in Google Forms only. I had customized them. So now with the help of Google Forms, bring your quizzes online. No need for taking the offline quiz. You can take your quizzes online. So that's about the Google Forms. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful participants. The training session ends here. So that's about the Google form. Any doubt, any question you may ask, or regarding any other Google tool, if you want to ask anything, you can ask. Yes, please fill the form, everyone. I hope you all had a great learning experience.
Thank you, Neetu.
You want me to again repeat the Google form, or any topic you want me to repeat? Thank you, Abhi. So if no doubts, the training session ends here. Thank you so much. You may leave. Bye. Yes, yes. Definitely, Miss Anupam. Anytime. Even you can travel during vacations also. I'm happy to serve you. I want that all should know these Google tools because they are free and easy to use. I was also not knowing. So through the CBSE, I have been imparted the training for 10 days, level 1, level 2, and then I got to know all these Google tools. And they are really useful. I'm really using them. So I
Yes,
want all my school teachers to learn this because
I have been using this tool right since the beginning. I am not very comfortable with Microsoft tools. I use Google tools only.
yeah, even that, uh, and these all are associated with our Gmail account.
Yes,
If
yes,
you have a Gmail account, you can use them.
yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye. Thank you, Gunjit.
Thank you, Neetu. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Monica. Recording I would be giving you soon. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, everyone enjoy the vacations. Tomorrow we have one class online session and then our vacation starts.